So describe the project to me because we haven't heard of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the project is a unique effort to create an autonomous energy system that will at the same time change the energy paradigm of the island and hopefully of the islands nearby, but also try to bring more investment in the island, develop ecotourism, and at the same time reduce resources for traditional energy generation. So the idea of the concept is to have it 100% sustainable in line with the goals of the island. The whole island is a Natura area, so it's a protected biodiversity area. Hunting is not allowed at all. They have a sustainable goat population that they manage in order to generate some revenue. 800 inhabitants manage 20,000 goats in a sustainable way in order to bring another income in the island. So this is the overall mentality of the island.
They're producing their own electricity.
Yes.
They're 100% recycling, so they don't generate trash.
This is the effort, yes. The distribution system, so all the cables, all the copper on the island, so to speak, belongs to the distribution system operator. It's a state-owned company or a partially owned company by the state. And unfortunately, this is the old mentality and the old legislation that still keeps these islands or these communities all over, even on the mainland, from becoming really autonomous. So they have to pay electricity as every other citizen in the country, despite the fact that their island generates its own electricity. The problem is that legislation needs to change. Legislation needs to change in Greece and in other areas, because the old mentality was we generate electricity somewhere and we all take a part of the cost. Now, renewables bring energy next to our homes. Therefore, if we generate electricity next to our home and we have kind of the added burden of that, we might as well reap the benefits. But the legislation in many countries, including Greece, is not yet up to this standard.
You would say that the ultimate goal most likely would be to generate electricity, change the legislation so they will be able to make not have to pay for electricity, and at the same time, could they sell the electricity?
Yes. This is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be a part of the energy community of the world. Therefore, generate your electricity, manage your network, either through private companies or even energy communities, manage the network, and at the same time be able to get some benefit out of this by exporting electricity to nearby communities and getting remunerated for that.
Any other island getting any electricity from Tilos right now?
Currently, Nisiros, this is the nearby island connected with a subsea interconnection, for some part of the year gets electricity from Tilos, which unfortunately just falls in the big bucket of the grid. It doesn't get remunerated specifically for the Tilos project.
And what happens to the extra energy that is generated? What happens to that? It's stored?
The extra energy, so the first priority is to store energy on the island. Just this maintains the energy security of the island and is able to operate the island effectively. The other option is to export it. When the batteries are full, then the next best thing is to export energy to the nearby islands.
How do the residents feel about this? Are they?
I would say that the population of Tilos, I think, is a unique population because they are very, very aware environmentally about the implications of these systems. They have been only positive around the island for this sort of investment. And we do have an amazing connection, even on a personal level, with a lot of these people because they embraced our effort. And we also embrace the island. We support their football team. We spend our holidays there. It's a great personal connection as well as business. It was partially sponsored by the EU, so the EU paid for the biggest part of the technology development, and UNIS invested in all the hardware. So all the hardware as well as parts of the software development are actual private investment from our company.
Foreigners moving into Tilos now?
There are quite a few. Yes.
Yeah?
Digital nomads in particular. We're also trying to boost energy, internet speeds on the island, so to make it easier for people to work there. This is a project that we would like to show that is absolutely viable, and specifically for Cyprus, this is something that could be implemented today and really create an enormous amount of energy security and cost reduction for the Cypriots.
But Cyprus is much bigger than Tilos, yes?
And that's why the system will have to be much bigger and be installed in many locations. However, the technology is proven technology that can work easier on Cyprus because of the large scale than in Tilos. The fact that you have a distributed grid in Cyprus makes it easier to manage these imbalances. So what is the most difficult thing is to make a stable, autonomous household. Cyprus, being a large island, is actually easier, even though it sounds a little bit different. And this does not have to be a state investment. Private investors are more than willing. We are the first one in this line. We're more than willing to invest in changing the paradigm in Cyprus.